Class with Miss Kris. This week, we're going to be learning about an artist named Margaret Keane. Margaret Keane, she's a current American artist, American-born artist. She is known for her big eyes. That's kind of like the highlight of what she does. Everything she makes, and she's a painter, she paints with huge eyes. She paints a lot of women, children, and animals. There's a ton of cats in her art. She has a lot of different types of cats. She has a gallery in San Francisco. It's I don't know if any of you guys have been to Ghirardelli Square in San Francisco. By kind of like Fisherman's Wharf area, there's a gallery, and her art is there. She is, she's been painting for over 60 years. And she has a lot of followers, a lot of Hollywood, musicians, a lot of collectors out there. Her art is huge, and her story is even more amazing. So she got her career started in the San Francisco area, and her art currently sells for about $10,000 to $12,000 for an original, but she sells a ton of prints and ads. When she was a child, she liked to draw big eyes. It's just something she liked to do, and I know a lot of you students like to draw big eyes too, especially those of you that like to draw anime type of art, the Japanese type. So she started out drawing her big eyes as a child, and then as she grew older, those eyes just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're going to create a cat today. It's kind of like a cartoon almost, and it's going to have very, very, very large eyes. So what you're gonna need is a pencil with an eraser. You'll need a pencil sharpener for sure. I always have one handy. I do have my blending stick handy because I might want to use it, but you will need a set of colored pencils today. Whatever you have will work. The best colored pencils are the Prismas. I don't have them, but what I do have handy are just a good old Crayola pack. So I'm going to use these. Alrighty, let's get started with our big-eyed cat. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do to create this cat, and we're gonna make the whole body of the cat, is we're gonna start, so here's my center. I'm gonna come above my center, and I'm thinking this area right here, because down here is going to be the body of the cat, okay? So right here, leaving a little bit of room for the top of the paper, I am gonna just make almost like a circle, and it's going to be a fuzzy circle, and I'm going to go around my fuzzy circle. It's going to be the head of my cat, and it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to have a lot of fur on it. Cats are really furry. I actually really like cats. I have cats. I've always had cats my whole life. So I'm gonna come around with this head. It's gonna look like a big, furry kind of ball. It's not a complete circle, but as you guys can see, it's a circle type of shape. So this is where I'm gonna develop the face of my cat. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna add some ears to the cat. So I'm gonna come over here, come right here. I'm going to make a triangle. Alrighty. Then I'm going to go on the other side. Now another word that we're going to continue to use is symmetry. So we want to try, like, for instance, I'm going to mess up right now, but if I made my ear like that, right here, that doesn't look right. That's too small. I want to make this triangle about the same shape as that one. So I'm going to erase that because that's way too small. And always just feel like you can erase when you're making art. You're like, nothing's permanent. If it looks wrong to your eye, like it doesn't look right, then, you know, it's probably not. And just erase it and retry it. Okay. Alrighty, so now I have 2 ears of my cat. All right, so now what I'm gonna do on this ear, sorry, my cat is messing with my area right now. My cat, you might meet my cat very soon here. So, come here, why don't you just come over here and say hi. Bring her in.
Okay.
Say hi. How you doing, kitty? There you are, hi. Okay, so I'm gonna move my cat so I can actually draw. So here we go, back to the drawing board. Sorry about that, it happens quite often when I'm drawing. There's something about cats, they really like to mess with you when you're, probably if some of you have cats, when you're doing homework or drawing, they just wanna mess with your stuff. All right, so I'm coming back here to this ear, the first ear I made, and I'm making a line that goes back up to the triangle. That's like the outside flap of the ear, like that. And then I'm gonna come over to this triangle, and I'm gonna make an area that goes up, and an area that goes down. It's kind of like the outside of the ear and the inside of the ear. See that? All right, so now we're gonna move to the face of our cat. So with Margaret Keane, her eyes are really, really big in her art, and her features are pretty small. So I'm going to make a small little nose, and I'm gonna try to go like in this, here's the center of my art, or center of that furry oval. And I'm gonna go down a little bit, about right here. So if you can estimate, here's the center, and I'm gonna move down. And I'm going right in the middle, I'm going to make a little nose. So the first step is to make just a line. See, just a little line like that. Now, from this line, I'm gonna come down with 2 little sides. See, like that? Then I'm gonna come in like that, like that. See that? See, all art is lines and learning where to put things. Because once you learn where to put things and how to draw lines, then it all just comes together and it's not so hard. Then I'm gonna make a dip right here. I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna come down like that. That's my little cat's nose. Okay, now, if you know cats, from here, right here, we're gonna make a line down under the nose. And I'm gonna split in 2 directions. I'm gonna go one direction and the other direction. That. Here's where the word symmetry comes in, okay? You want this space and this space to be about equal. And that's gonna help you draw the rest of the face. So then I'm gonna come up about right here on the side of the nose, and I'm going to make an area that curves around, back to that spot. See that? Coming on the side of the nose. I'm gonna make an area that curves around. You can see the cheeks of the cat coming into play, right? And then we're gonna do the little chin under here. I'm gonna do little furry chin. So at this point, I'm gonna erase a little bit. I'm gonna come in and erase some of this fur out. I actually would not use a Prisma pencil for this project, because one thing about Prisma pencils, they're amazing to use, but they're very hard to erase. These number 2 pencils, and they're 2s because they're light, so you can erase them really well. Those Prismas I need to look it up, but they gotta be at least an 8B. An 8, meaning their lead is really strong, hard to erase. So don't use them for this project. Okay, so now we have the chin. Now inside of this side and this side, and you know, I can tell, like if I'm looking at this, this is a little smaller than this. So if I want to make this more even, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna just take it a little bit smaller, okay? So it's a little bit more even. There, I think that looks a little better. All right, so inside these two little cheek areas, I'm gonna put little dots. And this is where I'm gonna give my cat whiskers. Whiskers are a lot of fun to draw, and we're gonna make those very soon. All right, there. Now, the crazy part that I've been looking so forward to working with, we're gonna make huge eyes, not like normal cat eyes, big, huge eyes. So what I want you to do is this line you're gonna erase, but this is gonna help you create symmetry. I want you to make a really soft line that goes right from the head to the nose and divides these two spaces in half. Because this line is gonna really help us make our eyes have symmetry, okay? Then I'm gonna make a line that comes right here, soft. I'm gonna erase this. And I'm gonna make a line like that, okay? That's also gonna help us make our eyes even on both sides. So I'm gonna start now. So right about here, I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna make a huge steep hill, okay? Big steep hill. My cat keeps bothering me. Go away. I might have to put her away. She knows I'm drawing a cat right now. I know it, and she just wants to be a part of it. My husband's gonna get her out of here. Okay, one last hi. Say hi.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you later, cat. Jeez. All right, so let's get back to our cat and hope that other cat does. The other cat's name is Stevie. Hope Stevie doesn't bother me anymore. All right, so we're gonna make a steep hill and it's gonna come down. This is gonna be the top of my eye. See that steep hill? Okay. Now this is what I want you to really do your best on. You're gonna come to the other side. And these guidelines I have that I'm gonna erase later. So I am looking at this distance right here, and I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna go, okay, this eye is gonna start right here, and that's gonna be about the same distance. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make my hill, come up, and yeah. Now, for some of you, when we get to the body of the cat, if that is just too difficult for you, because you're younger, some of you are, you know, just third grade, then don't worry about it. Just work on the face today, okay? Because but if you feel up for it, keep going with the video and try to do the whole body. All right, so now I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna go from one side of the eye to the other, okay? One side of the eye to the other. Wow, those are some big eyes, kitty cat. Now inside the eyes, right here, I'm gonna come around and make the eyeball of the cat. Big, right? And we're gonna actually color this in black. But before we color it in black, I'm gonna create 2 bubbles in each eye. And we're not gonna color in these bubbles. They're gonna stay white, and those bubbles are gonna be the highlights inside the eye. Because the eye is very reflective and the eye captures highlights in it. So we're gonna keep that like that. Alrighty, so now we're gonna come back down and we're gonna start the body of our cat. So I'm gonna come down here on either side of the face, and I'm gonna come down like so. Here's my first part, like that, okay? And I'm gonna finish this. This is gonna be the arm, one of the arms. And it's just gonna curve like that. And I know that looks kind of weird, but it's gonna make sense in a second. So then I'm gonna come, see how I came like this and like this? I'm gonna come on the other side. I'm gonna make a V right here. See how I did that? This little paw right here is gonna be in front of this paw. And I'm gonna interact. So it looks like this. Now the V just turned into a Y. So I came down like this, and then I made the Y, all right? I am going to give my cat her first paws. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 paws, and we're gonna go up about right here and stop. All right, so the next part of the cat, and I know this isn't easy, we're gonna have a hind leg that's kind of in front of this arm. So I'm going to come right here, and I'm gonna come down like this a little bit, just like that, and stop. And I'm gonna draw a hind leg. So this is the way I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come around. As I said, if this is too hard for some of you, just watch, and you can just work on the face, but give it a shot. This is our 5th project, so some of you guys, all of you, you're getting really good, really impressed. So see how I'm doing this? I'm coming through. And right here, I'm gonna give some more claws. And these little bottom paws are gonna be even with this one. Three back here. I had a cat once, and she had a deformity, and she had 7 toes instead of 4. Sometimes cats have a little back one right here. I'm not gonna put that in, but she had 7 toes on her front paws, so I named her 7. All right, now on top of these paws, so we have, this one's hidden, you don't see it. I'm gonna give her some claws, little sharp. See how I'm doing that? Claws, cat claws. Kind of fun to make those claws. Alrighty, so now we're gonna finish the last paw, the last foot actually. Then we're gonna give our kitty a tail, and then we're gonna start using the colored pencils. All right, so over here, so we have all of this going on about right here. We're gonna come around and make a curve that kind of looks like that. Okay. Then right here, we're gonna create our last paw. So I'm just gonna make a curve on top, you know, because these are her feet or his feet. Your cat can be a male or a female. I'm gonna put some claws too. Can't really see the last one. All right, so now what I wanna do to my kitty is give my cat a tail. So the tail's gonna be coming behind. So on this paw, right about here, I'm going to have the tail I think that's a little thin right there. I'm gonna thicken that, coming right here. And you can make some cats, like Maine Coon cats, those big cats, they have huge tails, like raccoon tails. And some cats, like that little black one that keeps messing with our art today, her tail is like super skinny. So depends on your tail. All right, so now I have a good idea of what my cat's gonna look like. And I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go in now and I'm gonna get my colored pencils. Oops. All righty, let's see what colors I wanna use today. And I'm not gonna take this whole time to show you what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna get started and then I'm gonna show you how to finish it. So I'm gonna get a black colored pencil, a green colored pencil, a turquoise colored pencil, a yellow pencil, and then I need a gray. So I'm looking for a gray. And hopefully, even if you don't have a pack that has as many as I do, you can find these colors. There's a gray. And a gray colored pencil. All right, so that's, actually I thought that was black, but it looks kind of red. So here's my black. All right, take this one away. That's more of a brown. All right, so here's the colored pencils I have. And I'm gonna use my cat's gonna be kind of like a white cat, but it's gonna have some gray markings. I'm gonna sharpen these real quick, get them ready to go. One, two. And you guys may need to do this too as you look at your colored pencils and go, oh wow. Because I did this yesterday. I drew this cat already, and I'll show you what I drew in a second to be ready for you today. But I forgot to sharpen these before we started, so bear with me. All right. All right, that'll do the trick. All right. So now the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the eyes, okay? So I'm gonna come, oh, you know what I forgot to do is erase these guidelines. Remember, these were we weren't gonna keep these. Oh, and also another colored pencil that you should get is pink. I forgot, because cats have pink noses and they have pink in their ears a little bit. So I grabbed a pink. All right. Let's get started. Let's get in the eyes, okay? So I'm gonna come right here and start with this eye. I'm gonna darken it, that black colored pencil, really darken the outside. I'm gonna darken underneath it. And I'm pretty much outlining it. And remember, those bubbles stay white. So then I'm gonna use my black colored pencil, and I'm gonna go and I'm going to fill in this whole eyeball, leaving the two highlights. See how cool that looks? I'm gonna go over here and do the same thing. I'm gonna outline it, underneath it, and outline the bubbles. And color in, leaving those two bubbles white. Alrighty. Now, a lot of times cats, they have like colored eyes, yellowy eyes. I'm gonna make this cat have kind of like a green eyes underneath. So I'm gonna color in some green here. And then I'm gonna color in yellow underneath. Alrighty, great. All right, another thing I wanna do now that I have my eyes done, I'm gonna color in my nose, a pink color, okay? I'm gonna color the inside of my ears. Nice little pink color. I'm gonna go back to my black. I'm gonna come in and outline my little face. A little chin. I'm gonna have fun. This is what I love doing, this part. I'm gonna add whiskers. So I did that and just kind of, they don't have to be straight. I'm just like stopping and then pulling out. One thing I learned about cats by having cats is the older they get, the longer their whiskers are. Okay, let's go into the head. I'm just gonna do a little more work and then I'm gonna show you one that I finished. And give you some ideas of how to finish your cat. And this is where your creativity comes in, where you can kind of make it your own too. I want you to always feel like in this art class that you can make anything your own. You don't have to copy me exactly, okay? Because, I mean, it's okay if you want to copy me exactly, but if you want to do something a little different, I understand. All right, so now I'm gonna add a few whiskers, kind of hair coming out the ears, maybe a few up here, little kitty cat ears. I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna outline a little bit, and here. Now, what I wanted to do with this cat is I wanted to make this cat pretty much a white cat, but I want to give it some like tabby markings. So I have that light gray right now, and I'm going to make V's. So I'm going to go that way, and I'm going to go that way. See how I did that? I'm going to go that way, and then I'm going to go that way. And then I'm going to go that way and that way. I'm actually going to make some stripes through, mine's a girl, through her arms. Okay, maybe a few V's through her legs. Give her some markings. That's one thing about cats that are really cool is their markings, right? They have great markings. So at this point, I'm gonna show you one that I've finished and give you some more ideas, okay? So here's one that I finished yesterday. So with this one, I did a lot, right? A lot more than what I showed you. So I took like the grays and I did more shading in the ears. I added some black shading over here, some shading through the eye. I did some shading around the cheek area and the chin. I added some more shading through the body, like so. Outlined everything. I added more shading through the tail. I also made a line that went back here and another line. I made my cat kind of sitting on a fence. I decided to mimic the green and yellow in the eyes, and I colored the background green and yellow. So I did kind of like a crosshatch where I like went one way with the colored pencils, and then I went a different way with another color building, you know? And I just had fun. I just went one way and a different way and kept doing that for a while. So you can see that it comes together and it's really fun. So I hope you enjoy this and take your time shading. See how I made the little area in here a little darker down here? Because as this area, this would be the stomach area, would start coming in, it would create kind of a shadow under here. So this area is a little darker. So take some time and try out this big-eyed cat based on Margaret Keane's Big Eyes. And I hope you have a great week. Get back to me on Schoology if you can. I'd love to see what you do. Take care. Bye.